So we start recording.
Yep.
Hey! It's us.
The number 4 was my number at YMCA basketball when
Really?
I played. It was. So
I didn't know that.
A little return to form. The cough is
A
gonna
little
be
return
great.
to form. You know, it doesn't matter how many times I hear that. I'll never get tired of it. And at this point, it just feels nostalgic.
Yeah, it does. It's been a while.
I have it as my ringtone.
Yeah.
And it still feels nostalgic in the context of we're doing this show.
Yeah.
We're doing this show. We're doing it right now.
It's been a while.
Oh my God. We're here together.
Which also has been a longer while.
Oh my God, this is the HalfGen podcast. Back at it again.
Hey.
For the first time in almost 3 years.
You know, some stuff has happened.
Yes, God.
A lot has happened.
You have to forgive me. I have a lingering cough from March.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
At my bachelor party. I got married.
Yeah, he did.
I got married.
He got married. I didn't get divorced. I got a little fatter, so my wedding ring doesn't fit right now. Working on getting that fixed.
You had a baby?
I did birth. I birthed a baby.
You birthed a whole ass baby.
Myself. Also, I'm Ross, by the way,
Just-
in case you're new.
I'm Chris, and I just made the worst baby producing motion ever.
It's going to be really great if I have to use this in my job search. Just point them to the video podcast, and you do that.
It's not even good because I'm just punching.
I'll be unemployed. That's fine. But yeah, Chris got married. I've had a child.
God, that's crazy. I literally got engaged and married in the time since we recorded an episode. I think I had just started dating Melissa around the time we stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot has changed. My gaming time has dwindled quite a bit, as you might imagine. But been playing some stuff recently. So, you know, had some change of employment, which has given me a little bit more free time in the short term. So I was like, why don't I just take a road trip down and record in person and record a podcast episode? Because why not?
Yeah. This one's going to be kind of a little off the cuff. We've got microphones set up off screen. I'm hoping this all sounds fine. If it doesn't sound fine, it'll probably sound better in the future. But for right now, this is what we have to work with.
Yep.
It's better than no show.
Hey, that's true. It's true.
Oh, man. So, God, I've moved since the last time we recorded an episode.
Have you moved twice?
I've moved twice.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I moved in with my girlfriend, proposed, then got transferred for my work, moved again, and we got married here in this not in this apartment, but like while we were here. Physically in the apartment, we laid in bed.
The landlord was the officiant.
Ross was the best man. He got in bed right next to me.
I did.
Under the covers, baby.
Yep. It's, you know...
Under the covers. That might be a title.
That
might be
a
title.
Yep. Write it down. Write it down.
We gotta remember that.
Yeah.
We need a good title.
I just remembered I've also moved since the last podcast as well. Still in the same town, but in a better house, which is nice. But yeah, I guess we should do what our website's tagline says. Let's talk about games.
I do want to mention, in case it happens during the show, I also have cats now. So if a cat walks up here, your eyes are not deceiving you.
If you think you see a cat, you're wrong. It's not actually a cat.
All you should see is Fight Coco. Again, forgive the cough. It's not going to go away. I can't do anything about it. If we waited for it to go away, I wouldn't be talking about games.
No. You'd be talking about potential retirement homes to move into.
Yeah. Video games.
Video games.
We talk about them here.
We do.
When we're here. Ross.
Yeah.
I have played a lot of video games.
Why don't you fill us in?
Oh my
on
god.
2025 so far.
2025. I was gonna say, like,
because if we go back any farther, it's gonna just be a lot.
I just want to get my Destiny moment in here real quick.
Yep.
No. Just 1 minute. I just want to say.
Yep.
For anybody who's wondering, like, oh, the end of Destiny, Final Shape, whatever, was it good? Yes, it was good. It was the best expansion they ever made. That's all I have to say right now on Destiny. But
it's very restrained of you.
I'm trying. I just felt like, for the people, I wouldn't be genuine if I wasn't at least talking about that.
I know Nat would be upset if you didn't bring up Destiny.
I guess.
So
facts. 2025. I have a handy dandy list called Games Played in 2025.
That's smart. I should have done that before this. Well,
yeah, I just have a keep, and then at the end of the year, like if I'm going through and like figuring out my top games, I just start like sorting them and checking them off to get them out.
So I also keep a Google Keep list just of games I've beaten though. So
what I do usually is if I beat it, I put a star.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was smarter than my way. But 2025.
2025.
What does it look like?
Freedom Wars Remastered.
Oh, that happened.
That happened. I was so excited for that.
Yep.
And like it plays like a game that was on the Vita. In a way that like I wish it didn't. Like I accepted a lot of those limitations on the Vita.
Mm.
It feels very clunky in 2025 on I've been playing it predominantly on I should show that later, my handheld that I have. Mm. I've been playing it on my 1X, and like that is a device that is built, Hall effect triggers, Hall effect joysticks, and it's like this is a gaming device. And it just like it plays Freedom Wars, and it's just like this is what you asked me to do? It's like it's offended. It's like this.
It was a really cool Vita game.
I still, when the Freedom Wars hits, it hits hard. And I still really like the game itself. It's just the in-between stuff can sometimes get in the way. Some of it is just clunky in a way that, like, you would expect for a handheld that only had 2 bumpers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It could have done with more modernization, which is what I was expecting, was more modernization.
Yeah.
And that's just not what happened.
Yeah. I'll never forget.
Excuse me.
My favorite weapon in the original was the pipe in the rebar.
Yeah.
That was always my go-to. Because it was like, this little tiny anime guy is just going to lift that around. Sure. Makes sense.
I still loved the moment where I forgot it happened. I took more than 5 steps in my cell, and they added to my sentence.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, right. This game is nuts. But yeah, it's really cool, and I really hope they get the chance to make one of those for modern hardware, especially for like in a Steam Deck world,
or from a design perspective too.
Like I just want that, but smooth.
Yeah.
I want Monster Hunter World, but Freedom Wars, Freedom World.
The world we live in.
I also played Avowed, Obsidian's Avowed.
Right.
I like that game a lot. I played it a lot early in the year.
What kind of game is it again?
It is a first person. It's as much as I kind of hate to say it, it's kind of a Skyrim.
Okay.
It is like I don't say this in the sense that like Bethesda owns the first person Western style RPG format, but it feels like a Bethesda inspired game from the people who made very Bethesda inspired games like Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian is no stranger to that. The Outer Worlds, kind of Fallout inspired, stuff like that. So I don't feel it's disingenuous. I just don't want to make it sound like that's its only claim to fame. It is a gorgeous game. Like, if you are still one of those people who thinks video games don't have style and don't have color, play Avowed. Because you can't go 5 minutes without seeing something, like, amazing. Like, the game, it plays really smooth. It kind of feels like what I want the new Elder Scrolls to feel like.
Okay.
Because it's smooth. It's methodical. Like, it is a game that, like, when you decide this is how I want to play this game, it gives you all the tools to play exactly that way.
How's the magic in that game?
I actually started with magic.
Okay.
Which I don't usually do. Mm-hmm. So what's cool is you get the wand, and you Harry Potter and the spells thrown out, magic and stuff, and then you get like 1 or 2 spells to start that you can unlock. Mm-hmm. You can get in your offhand a grimoire, which will give you like 5 additional spells that you can just use.
Okay.
And you can level them up. And still you can still unlock them later as you move down the skill tree, but it can give you access to spells that you don't currently have. And you can still upgrade them and use them. And so now, instead of just fireball, 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 I want die.
Fireball. Fireball.
Instead of going full pitbull and fireball,
yep.
You can be like, all right, now I want lightning, I want this chain lightning, I want this ice missile thing. It's cool. I traditionally play those games as a melee character. You can call me boring. I really don't care. There are guns, like handguns. And what's cool is you can offhand them. So, like, you can have a sword in this hand, and instead of a shield, just be like, I brought a gun to the sword fight.
I brought a gun and a sword to the sword fight. I win. Is the magic gameplay interesting? Because in Bethesda games, especially Elder Scrolls, like, I never really enjoyed using magic. It never felt very fun to me.
Magic can solve problems in the world. So there are obstacles, and there are other tools to solve them. So, like, you can get, like, little bombs that will destroy vines and stuff like that, or you just fireball.
Okay.
So, like, magic solves problems. It has a lot of good movement. It feels very fluid. One of my favorite things that I did is I left the first city you go to, and there's this big lighthouse. And I was like, that looks like I can go up there. Sure as shit, I find myself parkouring up the lighthouse. And then I got to do this awesome Assassin's Creed dive into the ocean.
Oh, nice.
And it was really cool. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, I'm jumping, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Where if it was Guild Wars 2, I'd want to die. But in... we're bringing back the old jokes.
Oh, Guild Wars 2. Poor platforming in Guild Wars 2. I enjoyed the janky.
But, yeah, Avowed is smooth and fluid in a way that Bethesda has not really been able to capture in one of their games. How I personally feel. And this is all going to be very ironic as I move further down my list and get into the game that might be my game of the year so far. But I digress. Avowed is a game that a lot of people are sleeping on because for various reasons, whether they be style, whether they be political, whether they be whatever in between. Avowed is on Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
Get Game Pass for 1 month. Try Avowed. If you don't like Avowed, go play Doom the Dark Ages. Whatever. Go play Oblivion Remastered. Just try Avowed. It's so fun. It is the one game that, like, I have put down right now that in the back of my mind I keep saying, I really need to go back and play it. Because, like, it had such a great first impression when I picked it up. I immediately was like, okay, I think, like, I really like this thing. What I want to do is I think I'm going to start over. I don't think it has a huge impact on things, but I want to start over with a melee-focused character So at the beginning, you do like customize your character. Character has like weird like mushroom growths because there's some like godkin type thing where like you so like there are these people who have like the same kind of thing as you, and they have like these the fungus growing out of them and stuff. They look like cordyceps from The Last of Us, but with splashes of color, with vibrancy.
Yep.
You know, it's a cordyceps with pizzazz.
It's Russell. If you're still around, I need that to be a GIF. Just anytime soon.
He is. He still makes memes.
Great. Great.
So, what was I saying? So all of them have a god. Like God says, "Hey, me and you were tight. I really like you. I like what you're doing with your mushroom thing. We're pals now."
Okay. Your
character doesn't know which god did this to them. So that's part of the mystery, is that you don't know who your god is. And so that's what kind of sets you on this path. You're going, so it's set in the same universe as the Pillars of Eternity.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's the Forgotten, I think it's the Forgotten Lands.
You're not thinking Forgotten Realms, are you?
No, they have I just need to double check what they call their world.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Yes, it is in the same universe as Pillars of Eternity. It's set in the world of Aora, is what they call it. Okay.
That's suspiciously close to Eorzea. But yeah,
I can't remember what they call like
the
overarching world of that.
I guess I forgot that Obsidian made Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that they're the ones.
The Living Lands is what they call it.
Lands. Okay.
And so like there's this like evil growing. So like one of the first things, it shows this cute little like meerkat looking dude walking around, and then there's like this darkness plague thing that like kills it and then makes it evil.
Oh, okay.
And so like you're going to this particularly dangerous land that like the empire that you're working for has been like trying to settle for decades, and they failed. And so like they have like a small presence there, but it's kind of like the Imperials in like Skyrim. It's like they're there. They don't like that they're there, but they're there. Same kind of thing. Like everybody kind of hates the Empire because they're like, you guys don't belong here. Like this is our stuff. These are our living lands. Go live in your lands. One of the first guys, your first companion you get, like that is your mainline companion, is voiced by the guy who does Garrus.
Oh, really?
So, like, they knew exactly what they were doing. I got Garrus. Me and him, we're going to go calibrate some things. We're going to have a great time.
Is that a euphemism?
But yeah, I think I'm going to start over, like, start fresh, because it's been a couple months at this point.
Sure, yeah.
I played it a lot in February. Like, I put, like, 10 or 12 hours into it, maybe, back in February. And then I just kind of put it down, and now I'm like, okay, I want to start over. I think I want to be a melee guy. The magic is really cool, and I really like it, but there are so many situations where, like, it is a game that, like, you have a dash. Like, enemy gets close, dash away. And so the magic for me is, like, I'm pelting away, but, like, I don't want to engage. Me personally, I don't want to engage in, like, the quick little dash dodge type thing while I'm trying to fling my spells, like, no.
You think, like, would you like a battle mage or something where you have options for both?
You can do that.
Yeah. No,
just offhanded one. I think I want to do sword and gun.
Oh, sword and gun.
No, I gotta bring the gun.
Yeah.
2 tickets to the gun show.
Anyway, what's the next game you've been playing?
I highly recommend. That was actually early in the year. I did tell you. I was like, you're gonna... Yeah. You would really like Avowed, and I stand by that. Nubby's Number Factory.
What?
Did you ever play a game in the 90s called Snoods? Snoods.
No, it sounds like a spin-off of Leisure Suit Larry.
No. So, it's basically this weird, like, 90s flash game vibe thing. where you got this little thing named Nubby, and it bounces off of walls, and you've got these little balls. They have numbers on them, and every time you hit the ball, it cuts the number in half. So, like, if it's 8, you hit it, you get 8 points. Now it's 4, and you keep doing it till you break them all, and you go until Nubby dies.
Okay.
And then you're trying to hit the score to move on to the next level. The higher the score you get multipliers. You can like get more score, and you restock like your dead Nubbies and stuff. There's this guy Tony. He's sitting in the corner. He's your manager.
Is he garbage?
Kind of. He just wears these glasses, but it's really dumb because like if you have a really good combo, he just goes like.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, Chris looks like he was doing a Ray Charles impression with his mouth open. So take that as you will.
It is a really fun game that really makes me sad because like it's got this weird escalation. So like you start in this factory and like they tell you like, yeah, you know, I'm your manager. By the way, if you fail, the sun blows up.
Stakes.
So you start in this factory, and if you fail, the sun blows up. But you keep going, and so you go from the factory to the stratosphere to the moon to the sun temple. Yes. Yeah. Go to the sun temple.
I don't like it.
But you unlock these really cool items along the way, and they do these cool things. Like there's this little caterpillar guy that every time Nubby bounces, you get 5 points, and there's a 1 in 50 chance that when Nubby bounces, it will basically evolve from a Caterpie to a Butterfree, and then it gives you more points for that. And then like you can stack similar items to like make them more effective. So like the Butterfree is like, oh yeah, you get points now much faster for like every bounce and whatever. And then, and now if you stack them, instead of taking 5, now it only takes 2. And so that's like the trade-off is like, you know, you're giving up that one other item, but you're making this one way more effective. They have such delightful items as Poop Butt.
Help. Help.
Poop Butt is a real, and it's just a butt, and it's got a face, and he's just walking. And that's what it looks like. One of the best items in the game is like this like snot nose thing that like when Nubby hits things, it just like sends it out in all directions and breaks a bunch of them. There's like this rubber chicken that like drops eggs. There's this Yeti, and then there's like a bunch of little things like this little electrical outlet thing, and they all have activation requirements that say like, oh, if you clear the level goal, then this will go off and it will hit all of these surrounding balls and give you the points. The problem is they've been messing with the physics. And so when the game came out, it was fun. Then they made a change to the physics, which I don't remember disliking. Then he made another change to it. This is solo dev guy. He made another change to it, and he's like, yeah, it's a compromise between the two, and the game has never felt the same since. Like, the game feels worse to play now, and I just don't like it.
I mean, you spent a lot more time talking about this game than I originally thought you would after you said the title, but, you know.
Nubby's Number Factory is a cool game that they kind of ruined.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, like, I like Nubby's Number Factory. Every time I show it to people, they're like, what is this? And I'm like, just watch. And, like, I have seen people watch me play it and then buy it. I see my Steam friends list. Like, this person added Nubby's Number Factory to their Steam library. I have sold copies of this game.
Put the physics back.
Put the physics back. It's so weird. Like, Nubby just, like, you aim and you're like, Nubby, I want you to go here. And then Nubby's like, all right, I'm going to go there. I'm going to bounce off of this and I'm going to fall straight down. And he's like, Nubby, no. Stop. Nubby's Number Factory.
No, yep. And just so you know, I'm going to have, like, 2 games to talk about.
That's great.
So
But one of them you're going to talk a lot about.
That's fair. I just wanted to give you a heads up in case you wanted to skim over any as I kick.
Don't worry, I have some short ones here.
Okay.
So I played RuneScape Dragon Wilds. Did you ever play Valheim?
No, but I know what Valheim is.
They basically made Valheim.
But RuneScape.
Yeah.
It's neat. I played RuneScape back in the day.
No, but it's basically
but
just
it's
Valheim.
But it just looks like RuneScape.
Yeah, it's just Valheim.
Okay. Fair enough.
I really just feel like they made Valheim. Like, I kind of felt bad when I saw it. I was like, boy, if I'm a dev at the Valheim people, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm not a big survival game person myself, but
I just had somebody message me because I know they're trying to buy Night Rain. They said, "You think I can live off of $30 for 2 weeks?"
Oh god.
I'm gonna have to wait for Night Rain. Yeah, that's the responsible decision. There's this game Drive Loop, which is an early access game. It is like a Vampire Survivors, but a car.
Okay. Yep. Sure. Is it good?
Jury's still out.
Okay.
I played it a little bit. It did not grab me, and so I played other things. I will go back to it at some point, but I'm gonna let that one cook a little bit more. Yeah. Early access, you know.
Yeah.
Both RuneScape and that are early access. I'm gonna save this game for last because I'm gonna talk about it a lot. Dead Zone Rogue is another one I picked up. It is a roguelike first-person shooter. You know what game it reminds me of so much, and it reminds me of Coded Arms. Did you ever play that on the PSP?
I haven't thought about Coded Arms since I was a teenager.
I have both of them on my on my emulators.
That's wow. Okay, yeah.
So like you kind of it's this game where you go into these rooms, and there's just a couple guys in there, and kill them, get an item, go to the next room. Kind of like Coded Arms, you know. But with this, there's builds. So I played the demo, and the first thing I did in the demo, the first build I got on, was a melee build. And so you have like your quick little knife, stab, stab. What's cool is every time you enter a room, the first thing it does is it makes you stealth. So until you take action, you're invisible.
Okay.
I got a buff that made it so my melee does more damage, and if I kill an enemy with my melee, I turn invisible for 5 seconds. So I just kept stealth killing every room. I'd walk into a room, stab, 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 stab. Done. Next room, stab, 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 stab. Done. Till I got to a boss. And then a boss that I probably needed to kill with guns. And then I was trying to stab it. I think I killed that boss, but then died shortly after. The other night I did a run. It was like an hour-long run. It was the best run I've had so far, where I built into fire. So all my guns had this combustion ability. So like it has a percentage chance to proc, and every time I'm shooting, like enemies will just like it kind of explode and then burn. And so like I'm firing down lane with like this burst rifle, and then enemies just boom explode. Enemies around them are on fire. They're on fire, and then I just go around the corner and I watch tick 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 as their health goes down. I'm like, this is really cool. Like, I really like this. It's another game that has like the kind of dash dodge kind of thing.
Right.
It's not the most like fluid. It's melee enemies feel really dangerous in that game. Like, dudes will just come out of nowhere, and once they're on top of you, you're in a ton of trouble, especially bosses. Some of the hit detection's a little weird. Like, I feel like I dodge out of something, but an enemy just feels like, I completed the animation, you're gonna take the damage. And it's like, I hate you for that. Like, some enemies are just too relentless in their pursuit. I got into this one room. It was one of the hardest rooms I did. There's like these 3 bugs, and they're big bastards. And they just chase you around the room. So I'm just literally like back dodging, firing a couple shots, sprinting away, back dodge, fire a couple shots. It wasn't the most like rewarding feeling gameplay, but I did it. It wasn't not fun, you know. But and it has co-op too, which is interesting.
Oh, nice.
That run actually inspired me to increase the difficulty a little bit, because you do have persistent upgrades you can get. And so I wanted to do more of those, like 10% more health, 10% more damage, 10% more fire damage, stuff like that. So I wanted to kind of be able to build into that a little more. You can upgrade the guns, you can increase their rarity. which gives them more abilities. It's a really cool game. Excuse me. It's a game that, funny enough, so sorry. I saw being advertised on Reddit, of all places. It was just a Reddit ad. And, like, I was just kind of scrolling through, and I'm like, this game, I keep seeing it. I guess advertising works. I keep seeing this game. I'm like, I'm going to just play the demo. And I played the demo, and I was like, oh, shit. This is actually pretty good. Fun. And then it came out in early access. I'm like, I guess I'm buying this.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That should be good for a little bit.
Nice. Well, it sounds like it's pretty fun. What's the name again?
Dead Zone Rogue.
Dead Zone Rogue.
I'm going to keep... That's one I'm going to keep playing.
In my mind, I was thinking Dead Nation. I was like, is it an isometric type of deal?
No.
Or...
But I feel like I have only scratched the surface of like what some of those builds could be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to keep playing around with that.
Yeah. Nice.
Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered. Boy. I imported that for the Vita.
Yeah.
It's out now in English.
Great.
The game's kind of hard.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was playing it the other day at work. I took a break and I'm playing it. And I'm like, boy, these guys are kicking my ass.
The title of that game has every word you love in it.
Yeah. Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered. I'm not going to steal any of Ross's thunder with this one. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33.
What was the game you skipped earlier?
No, I have been playing a lot of that. I guess I will touch on that. I've been playing... 2025 has been my year of Balatro. I have played... Did I tell you I beat the highest... on the deck that's either spades or hearts,
yeah.
I beat the highest ante.
No.
The highest chip thing.
No.
Yeah.
I'm bad at Balatro.
I've unlocked all the decks, and I've done a clear on all of them.
Yeah, I'm not good at that game.
I'm not good at build... Like, I am not good once you get past ante 8. I can get there. After that, I'm done. I can't get anywhere past that. I can get... I think the highest I've gotten to is 10 that I've cleared. But once it gets to, like, now it's 7.2 million, I'm just like, all right, well, I lost.
Yeah, Balatro kind of took Chris's bachelor party by storm.
Yes.
Because we did an Airbnb kind of just in the middle of nowhere in, like, a big house/cabin type of feeling.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah, and... I don't remember how Balatro came up, but a bunch of us downloaded it who hadn't played it. It's because
we played poker that night.
Oh,
that first night we got there, I found a deck of cards. I convinced a bunch of people who don't like to play poker to play poker, and it ended up everybody liked it. So we ended up playing poker a lot, and then Ross was playing Balatro on his Switch, and he said, you should really try this game. And I was like, I know, I've heard about it, I just haven't, like, done it. And then I bought it while we were there. Started playing it. That was a mistake. Because then all I did was play poker and Balatro.
Yeah, that was...
The whole time.
Yeah, that was the weekend.
It was poker and Balatro. No regrets. Balatro is a really good game.
It is. It is a good game.
Did you ever see the Ben Starr trailer they had for that?
Yeah.
Crazy. That guy is wild.
Ben Starr is nuts.
Ben Starr is a treasure. Last game I want to talk about. This is going to get me coughing again. So I can't wait to take a break so Ross can talk.
Wheezing. Sorry.
Excuse me.
It's the next evolution.
Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered.
Yes. The Shadow Drop.
The Shadow Drop that everybody knew was coming for 4 months. Boy, that game is just so good. It's an Unreal 5 shell wrapped around the original game with some improvements. They did away with the old leveling system where you could, like, accidentally have bad level ups. Where it's like, oh, well, you didn't use the right skills, so you only get 6 skill points when you could have had up to 15. That old system was bad. So they replaced it where you just get 12 every level now. So just using any skill, your major skills will still level you faster. But those minor skills matter a lot more because you could just, like, I'm level, like, 27, or, no, I think I'm, like, level 24, sorry. I think I'm level 24. I think the first time I beat that game, I didn't hit level 20.
Yeah.
I did the freaking Hero of Kvatch at like level 18. That was a mistake because all the enemies, they still have the scaling, which is
that was a controversial decision that they kept.
I have gotten gear in this run through that I didn't know existed.
Oh, really?
Like tiers of loot that I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I get the odd like Daedric item every once in a while. Like I have a full set of like enchanted glass armor. I have like all my major weapons are enchanted. All my armor is enchanted, and I just like I've got these crazy rings and stuff that do awesome stuff. And I'm just like, boy, like, and I feel strong. You know, it's still Oblivion though, where it's like I don't feel as strong as I'd like to.
Yeah,
but
the level scaling for the
you know,
enemies,
I leveled up my stealth enough where like I can walk up with the dagger, and I'm just like, oh, 8 times damage, you're done.
I see a pattern with you and stabbies. Yeah.
I played a rogue when we played D&D.
It's true. It's true. It's. I also got the remaster. I haven't put a ton of time into it, but it reinforced for me that what I've always thought still holds true. That I've always liked Oblivion more than Skyrim.
100%.
Like, I've never been a huge Skyrim guy. Like, I understand why it's so popular and why people love it, but I always just felt Oblivion, the setting, a lot of the characters, the quest lines, I feel like it was just a lot more interesting and varied for me.
Oblivion has always felt like a game from Bethesda with something to prove, where like they set out to make the best game they'd ever made, and they made Oblivion. And then they made Fallout 3.
Which I loved at the time.
And then Skyrim just feels like from the makers of Fallout 3. It just kind of like, it was the beginning of the machine of Bethesda. It is Skyrim. Because Skyrim doesn't have, like, in my opinion, I'm not trying, like, Skyrim is a fun game. And I think a lot of the gameplay of Skyrim is superior to the gameplay of Oblivion. And if I could just get the gameplay of Skyrim, but literally everything else about Oblivion, I would enjoy that game way better. I also just think Skyrim is a boring location.
Yeah.
I think it's just dreadfully boring.
Yeah. It's incredible for me how little I remember about the vast majority of Oblivion, including like all the side stories and everything, when I got every single achievement in that game on 360 for both the base game and the DLC, which makes me excited going back into it to kind of re-experience things for the first time again, because it's been so long. I haven't played it since release.
I remember loving the Thieves Guild quest. There were like 4 missions I never remembered doing.
Yeah.
Like one of them I got stuck on because I couldn't remember what to do because I didn't remember the mission. And I'm like, I know I've done this before. This is ridiculous. I know I've done this before. Why can't I figure out where to go? This is insane. Yeah. But man, just playing that game, like the facial animations, especially like the Argonians, are crazy. Like the lip sync is so much better. The character faces are so much more like natural. They don't like look like muddy little like animatronics anymore. They look like people. Some of them better than others. Some of them don't look very good at all. But I guess that's part of the charm. But, like, playing that game again, it's one of those games that didn't need a lot of fundamental changes. It could benefit from some additional ones, but it didn't need them. It just, once you gave Oblivion that fresh coat of paint, it's just, it removes a major barrier for most people. And all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute. This game is incredible. Like, dude, the first time I'm talking to Uriel Septiman, it's like, you look like Patrick Stewart. Like, holy shit. Captain Picard. He's here. Stardate 48379.2. But,
yep, I know that.
Yeah, it's just a freaking playing through that Thieves Guild quest line again. I got to start the Dark Brotherhood. It's just like, it's so familiar, but so like, there's nothing like it. And playing that game is a mix of like nostalgia, but also like, it's refreshing. in a way, because it's just, Oblivion is exactly what Oblivion is. It's not trying to be the next Elder Scrolls game. It's not trying to be this, game that's going to be remastered for the next decade. It's just Oblivion. And it's perfect in that regard.
Yeah, I'm excited to put more time into it at some point.
Excuse me.
But yeah.
It's so good.
Nice.
I'm rocking my Khajiit.
Yeah.
Khajiit has wares.
Khajiit does have wares. That's
but yeah, it's so good. And like, honestly, the Cyrodiil is just such a diverse, because you get bits and pieces of everything. As you get more towards Skyrim, you get the snow and the mountains. As you get towards like Leyawiin and stuff, and you get towards like the Black Marsh, you get the swampiness, you get that little hint of Morrowind and stuff like that. Cyrodiil is like the best blend of all of these different biomes. And it's gorgeous. Gorgeous game. One of the best looking games I've played all year.
Yeah.
And it's a game that came out in 2006.
Yep.
It's a 19-year-old game, and they put a fresh coat of paint on it, and it's as good as I remember, if not better.
Which is crazy.
Like, they somehow made Oblivion better.
Yeah, and I can't wait. We were talking before the podcast. I can't wait for you to finally actually play through Shivering Isles.
I know.
Shivering Isles is so good. It's so good.
I'm planning to play through everything.
Yeah.
This is going to be my perfect playthrough where I literally do everything. Because I was going to do it. I had it on 360. Then I had my problems with my 360. So I started it on PS3. Then I just never really got far on PS3. And then I was like, oh, well, eventually I'll just play it on PC. Kept starting over, and before the days of Steam cloud saves.
Yeah.
Oblivion cloud saves don't work either, like the new one.
Oh,
I went to go play it. No, yeah, I went to go play it. I installed it before I left, and I went to go play it like on the boat on the honeymoon. Mm. Melissa was asleep, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a little bit of Oblivion. Sync the class. Do you want to make a new character? It's like, what the?
It's surprising as to how well that game holds up. And never forget...
One of the best games of all time.
Never forget to pick up your Nirn root.
Always pick up there's so many Nirn roots.
There's the Nirn roots. That's one of my core memories from playing Oblivion in 2006.
Yep. Yeah. You know what pissed me off? For the first time, I decided while I was going to because I didn't fast travel. I don't fast travel anywhere I haven't been. So I make myself go there first.
Can you fast travel if you haven't been there?
You can fast travel to all of the major cities by default.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But, I didn't go to Breville until I walked to Breville. And so...
Pokemon logic. You gotta visit before you can fly there.
Right.
Yep.
So... And I like exploring the world.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's half the fun.
I ran into the guy who's the meme, like, your gold or your life. And you pickpocket him, and he's like, whatever, I don't need it anyway. I found him. Yeah. And I recreated the meme. God, what did they say? Oh, so for the first time ever, I was going through and doing my Mages Guild thing. Every time I went into the town, I was like, let me get my recommendation for the Mages Guild while I'm here. And it just so happens that there is a guy you have to kill as part of another quest who is a part of the Mages Guild.
Okay.
And so I killed him and got kicked out of the Mages Guild. And then they were like, all right, to get back in, you need to bring me 20 Daedra hearts and 20 vampire salts. I was like, what? What?
That's funny.
That is absurd. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. So I got the freaking vampire disease 8 times. So I go into the freaking cave. I get it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try not to get... Okay, shit. All right, well, I have it now. So anytime I see cure disease potions, I'm just hoarding those. I go through the whole cave. I leave. I pop the potion. Cure disease. I'm good. Go on, get to the next one. First freaking vampire is just like, hey, buddy, Oh, you have the vampire disease. Oh, boy. I do another quest later, because I used to play as a red guard.
Right.
And so red guards are resistant to disease.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have those problems when I originally played, but now I'm a Khajiit.
Right.
And so now I get diseases all the time.
Just like cats.
Just like cats. Just like my cats. They only live in this house. How do they get sick?
Sounds like the start of a Seinfeld set.
How do the cats keep getting sick? I don't understand it. George! Kramer!
Perfect.
But yeah, so I kill that guy. I got kicked out. I gotta do one more Oblivion Gate to get some more Daedric hearts. I have all the vampire salts now. Yeah, I'm just gonna sprinkle them all over, you know. But yeah, so I gotta do that so I can finish my recommendations to actually get into the Mages Guild. Because I've never done the Mages Guild because I never did the spells.
Yeah.
I never really did that. But, you know, this playthrough I'm touching a little bit of everything. They changed it as well. So in original Oblivion, like, you just spammed spells. Yeah. And that's how you level. Now it goes based on the magicka cost. So you can cast one spell that uses all your magicka, and it will be more effective than just spamming, like, base level restore.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, like, now you want to spend more, and you'll get more progress. If you're just spamming, like, the low level one, it takes, like, 200 or 300 to level up.
Oh, wow. That's
at
crazy.
The later levels.
Yeah.
And then, like, once you get one that's more expensive, you're popping it, like, 4 times you level up.
Huh. That's a good quality of life change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, promotes actually using your magic.
Right, right.
Not just like, oh, well, I fell down 5 feet, better whoosh. I've been trying to level up the thing to give me Beast of Burden so I can carry more.
Oh, okay.
Because all the gear I get that drops now is super heavy. And so, I don't remember which school of magic it is, but I made a spell that, gives me like a shield for like 10 seconds or whatever. But when I cast it, it sounds like I'm dropping like the hottest beat of 2025. Like I'm dropping it and I'm just like bobbing my head to it. I'm like, yo, we're going to take this on the road. Yes, dude. I love Oblivion so much. I think I've already put like 50 hours into it.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those games you can just sink. You lose track of time, man.
I want to get all the achievements. Even though they're on Steam, like I still want all the achievements. I'm gonna get them. I haven't even gone to Wayne and Priory yet. I've already saved Martin.
Oh.
Because I went to Kvatch by accident.
Oh.
Because like in the original game, the only reason I went to Kvatch was because the fast travel point got taken away from it. So when I was playing on 360, I was like, why can't I go to Kvatch? I'd never been to Kvatch before. And I was like, wait, now that I can't go, I need to know why. You know, so I go there, Oblivion Gate, because it was the quest to save Martin. This time, I never even talked to the guy, so I could fast travel there anytime I want. And I was just walking by, and it was like, oh, Kvatch is under attack. And I was like, ah, shit. Because I needed to go to Anvil. And I was like, oh, well, I want to see, you know, if I'm not progressing the quest, is Kvatch under attack? It's always under attack. And, dude, it's so cool, though, when you're in there and they're just like, you're with us. We're going to go push. We're going to rescue the castle. And, like, the 3 Imperial Guards roll in, and they're like, we saw the smoke from the Gold Road. How can we help? And I'm like, yo, yes! Let's go! Me and my homies, we're going to raid the castle. Everyone died.
Yep.
I saved, I think, 1 Imperial Guard lived, and the main dude who talks to you lived.
Okay.
And everyone else died.
Yeah.
But I saved 2 people. I took great pride in that. It's just a bunch of flame Atronox and, like, freaking lizard and killer crocs.
Oblivion.
I was literally just kiting them and, like, firing arrows. And I'm just like, please die, please die, please die. It's a good thing I was fast. Or I would have been done for.
Yeah.
Oblivion. Fantastic video game. Fantastic. And with that, Ross, please talk.
So yeah. So like I mentioned at the top, there's been less gaming time the past couple years. And this year so far has been more than previously, but um, the first half of this year has kind of been dominated by me getting into Warhammer 40k because of our friend Zane. So I've been reading a ton of 40k books, and I've put some models together.
I'm surprised you haven't played Space Marine 2 yet.
So the first game I've put a ton of time into this year is Space Marine 2.
Which is really funny, because did you see they just announced the remaster of that?
Of the original?
They're remastering.
Yeah, no, I saw that, which is funny. But I played through the first Space Marine game, which I had never played through before. So I played through that, and then I played through Space Marine 2.
Oh, you did play Space Marine 2?
Yes. No, that's what I just said.
Oh, yeah, Space I know, but I didn't know you had played through it. This is the first I've heard.
Oh, yeah. I've put like 50 hours into Space Marine 2.
Dude, isn't that not one of the best campaigns ever?
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good. So, yeah, that game, that first Space Marine game has not aged particularly well in a lot of ways. Even more so, I felt like at times than Final Fantasy X, you were just walking straight the entire time.
Yep.
But, I mean, it was a fun story. Leandro was the worst.
How'd you like... Spoilers for Space Marine 2. How'd you like that
the reveal at the end?
Yeah.
It's at first I didn't recognize, and then they said the name, and I was playing co-op with Zane, and I just started yelling and cursing, and Zane just started laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. But yeah, Space Marine 2's campaign is great. The combat is so satisfying in that game. It's so much fun, and then I forget what they're called, the operations missions, strikes. Basically.
I haven't done those yet.
So I did those, and I've played a lot of PvP as well. And the different class system, class system in the multiplayer for both of those is a ton of fun. There's so much customization in that game. You can, I've put a bunch of different armor pieces together and color schemes that I've unlocked to create, specific chapters that aren't in the game, but exist within the lore. The customization is nuts. All the classes play so wildly differently. It is just so much fun. Those operation missions, fill in story bits where, when you're playing as Titus in the main story, you're like, okay, we have a squad going to take out one of the checkpoints that we need to get through. You play as the squad who goes to take out the checkpoint. And so I think there's 9 of those now. They just added one in the most recent big update.
They're supposed to be adding, I think, the Horde mode with the next big update, too.
They are, which I'm really excited for. Yeah. So, yeah.
I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, the Tyranid are made for Horde mode. But yeah, so I've put, I think, 50, 60 hours in, and it was just addicting. My goal is to get the Platinum, because it's totally doable, and most of the hard trophies I have done already.
It was really funny last year when Helldivers 2 came out and was all for Super Earth, democracy, and all that shit. And then, as that kind of ran its course, and then Space Marine 2 came out, and it's all for the Emperor, for humanity, and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's just it's the same game. We're playing the same game. It's just one is more fascist than the other. Or one is more openly fascist than the other. But it was the year of fascism.
Year of fascism is probably a great title. Be great for the SEO.
I write it down. I don't like it.
But yeah, Space Marine 2 was a ton of fun. As I get more time kind of away from the game and processing it, I noticed some things in the campaign that I'm not a huge fan of.
Mostly fighting the chaos.
No, not even that. It's mostly that the story is a complete redo of the first game. From having to find the MacGuffin to having a teammate who distrusts Titus a ton. There's a lot of repeated story beats between the two games.
I think they're more I think actually they're more justified in this game. You're right. But I think the justification is stronger in this game because of the events of the first game. It makes more sense that someone would not trust him. like in the first game, he doesn't trust him because he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
In this game, he doesn't trust him because he was like removed from the records, and he's like, this guy used to be a captain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something's not right here. He's right to be suspicious.
Sure. Like, that's totally fair. But
whereas Leandros was just an idiot.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's still repeated plot points.
I didn't actually think about that.
Yeah.
That's fair.
A lot of the beats are very similar.
Yeah.
But the campaign to play is so much fun that I overlooked a lot of that.
Dude, that whole like sequence at the end with the dreadnought and everything, and it's just like, oh, it's a Helldrake.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck you. Throws the rock. Yeah. He's like, he just what? Like, I remember seeing that, and me and Cypher are playing. We're like, what the shit?
Well, not only that, but he literally the rock was a statue of the Emperor. He literally killed him with the Emperor. For the Emperor. So yeah, Space Marine 2, very good.
Who would have thought after all that time
2011
that they'd make a sequel 14 years later and that it would be an absolute banger of a sequel?
It's so good. It's a gorgeous game too.
They already greenlit 3.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's just
Saber's doing good work.
It's a beautiful game. There's so many systems in there that they can build off of.
And when you can like at the end of that. And it's like, rise, son of Gilliman. And it's like, when you can create an emotional bond with a character who is like, clearly not a good guy, but he's doing good things in his moral area.
There are no good guys at all.
It's The Last of Us.
The Emperor, he was trying to... There's a lot of bad stuff the Emperor's done. But man, those Tyranids and Nevrons and man, a lot of them, not Nevrons.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait a minute.
Hold up. Oh my god, I'm blanking on the
Chaos.
No, Chaos is like the overarching umbrella. Oh, that's gonna bother me. Zane, I know you're disappointed. I'm so sorry.
You didn't listen to this.
I know.
But yeah.
It's an achievement because it made me care about the IP that I've been trying to stay away from for so long.
Yeah, Zane's a bad influence like that because like once he tells you about something, like Zane's one of those people that like once he kind of gets his claws in you, like I could talk to anybody about anything and I'd be like, it's so good, and then people are just like, yeah, but if he likes it, I probably won't. But like with Zane, it's like if he's talking about it, it's probably cool.
Yeah, Necron. Dear Lord.
Yeah.
Necron is coming up in the next game I'm playing. But yeah, it's Space Marine 2, ton of fun if you like good campaigns, if you like third person kind of hack and slash and slash shooter. I'd highly recommend it. And it's continuing to get updates. More cosmetics, more missions for that side campaign, new modes, like Chris said, the Horde mode is coming out pretty soon. I think next month. So highly recommended. And then in between Space Marine 2 and the game I'm about to talk about, my sister, who's also a bad influence, got me into Doctor Who.
Oh God.
So
That's a dangerous...
I marathoned the entire revival from 2005 to today.
Oh my God.
Love Doctor Who. 10th Doctor a little overrated for all my people out there. We're gonna see now. We're gonna get activity on this because everyone's gonna hate me for that. Because that's the David Tennant one.
I don't remember who David Tennant is.
Oh, he's like, when you think of Doctor Who, it's probably David Tennant. Capaldi, best Doctor, followed by Eccleston. And I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
I know who this is.
Yeah.
I think the guy who's after him is better, isn't he?
Matt Smith.
I think so.
Matt Smith is great. I like Matt Smith. I like Matt Smith more than
David
Tennant.
I see clips.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yes, I like Matt Smith better.
Yeah. So
from my limited experience,
I watched all of the revival, and have started watching the OG series.
My favorite thing I've ever seen, I have not watched an episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But there's those aliens, the robots that like kill everybody. What's their name?
There's several kinds of robots.
It's the ones that are real sassy about it.
Like the ones without the single eye?
Yeah.
Oh, the Daleks?
The Daleks.
Yeah.
And they were talking to like the Cybermen or whatever.
Yeah, it's like
and they're just like...
One of us is enough for an army of you.
Yeah, and they were like, the only thing you are superior to Dalek is dying.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yo!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, some battle rap.
That is... Wow.
Yeah.
Like, you don't just say that to people. That was cool.
It was great. So yeah, took a pretty big Doctor Who detour for a while, and then recently on a whim, just because I saw kind of the scores it was getting, and I was curious, I bought Claire Obscure Expedition 33 by Sandfall Interactive, who is a debut game from that studio. It was founded, I think, by a few ex-Ubisoft employees. I think the director of which said he left because he was just so bored. And the story of how the game got to be made is almost as interesting as the game itself. The director and his like co-lead writer, originally auditioned as a voice actor, but worked in the finance sector prior to that with no experience of anything else, and she ended up becoming the co-lead writer. The director found the composer randomly on SoundCloud. Like, that's the kind of thing, the story that goes into this game.
I saw one of those memes. Some guy, TikTok, but he's like, they did the Tony Stark and a box of scraps.
Yes, yep.
They did that, but for Claire Obscure. The Sandfall Interactive made this with 30 people and a box of scraps.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, it's the basic premise of the game is it's a fantasy world that looks Paris adjacent. In the intro of the game, there's a weird curvy Eiffel Tower that's broken. And in the distance, there's a monolith with a number written on it. And there's this entity called the Paintress who every year erases it and writes a new number that's one less than the last. And when she does that, everyone who's that age dies. And to try and stop her, every year, generally the one age below, so we're on Expedition 33. So at the beginning of the game, she had just changed it to 33. She had just changed it to 33. So a bunch of 32-year-olds who have a year left to live are going out on an expedition to try to stop the Paintress, so that this cycle can end. And that,
what is it called?
The Gomage.
The Gomage.
The Gomage. It's kind of like in Star Wars, where if you know the original language, things become less mysterious. Like how Vader means father in German. Gomage means erase in French. But Gomage sounds way better.
Yeah. Sound like somebody's gonna hear that and be like, "What is this made up word? Gomage? Oh my god!"
A ton of the words I thought were made up were just French.
Yeah.
Which is great. But the game, the actual like gameplay is turn-based RPG, which I didn't know at first, and then when I started like looking at some reviews after it came out and saw that it was turn-based, as someone who prefers turn-based combat in my RPGs, that piqued my interest. And then
I know Uranium's going to probably get triggered when I say this.
Yeah.
Playing this game makes me think of Lost Odyssey.
Because
like Lost Odyssey, it's like this is definitely a more involved game, but Lost Odyssey had some involvement.
It had some of the timing and the combat. Yeah. So the combat, like, it's turn-based, but it takes a lot from previous games. It takes kind of the timing-based combat from either Lost Odyssey or like Legend of Dragoon.
I think of that too when you get to like the quick times.
Yep,
I'm just like, all right, Burning Rush, let's go.
Yeah. It has.
If Sony's not looking at this and then looking at Legend of Dragoon and like not putting those pieces together right now, I'd be calling Sandfall right now and just be like, How do you guys feel about tapping into our legacy IP? Okay, we have this game. You might have heard of it, The Legend of Dragoon.
Don't associate Trump with Legend of Dragoon. Don't do that.
I'm not. This is not. No, I'm not talking about the Trump.
But
I'm not.
No, because you just did your Trump impression when you were doing a Sony impression.
No, I wasn't there yet.
Well,
trust me, you'd know if I was doing my Trump.
You were very close.
But I'm not there.
It also does take some of the specific timing-based kind of defensive stuff from Paper Mario, where you could reduce damage. So the big gameplay thing in this is that it's a turn-based game, but whenever the enemy attacks, you can either dodge it or you can parry it,
or get hit.
I found out the director of the game was like someone who posted like Sekiro speedruns, which makes a lot of sense. But so combat is super active. Like, even you always have to be engaged. It's not just press attack and kind of check your phone or something. What's cool is that it is skill based, and that you can literally parry every single enemy attack in the game, from the lowest of enemies to the end bosses. Everything is parryable or dodgeable. So it's just for people who traditionally don't like turn-based or find it boring. I've seen a lot of people say that this is the first turn-based game where it's kind of like engaged them, just because there is no like autopilot. It's really engaging. I'm not a Souls player, so I'm not a big like parry person in general. I haven't done that a ton. The most I've parried in a game is probably Metroid Dread. But I found the combat in this game to be so engaging. Just between the active nature of it, along with the customization. So also in the game, how you customize your characters, there are weapons you can find and level up. But kind of as well as every time you level up, you can upgrade attributes like might, vitality, luck, defense, and speed, which will affect your stats. But weapons tell you what stats they scale off of. So if you have a weapon that has a B scaling in luck and a C scaling in vitality, then the more points you put into luck and vitality, the more your might stat will just automatically go up because it's scaling with it. So you can really customize every character, and each character plays entirely differently in terms of what they do. And then the other main component to it is the Pictos and Lumina system. Have you dealt much with that so far?
I've been getting more into that.
Yeah.
I just started getting... So I'm finally getting to the point where, like, I got the one for the dodge.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, when you get a perfect dodge, you get 1 AP.
Yep.
So now, like, I know that, okay, well, my main character knows that. So now I can equip it. I could put it on the other character. Let her master it now. And then you're kind of just getting... Within some reason, you're kind of passing all these around and getting, like, okay... The things I want this character to know, I'm going to have this blend of, like, these 3 might be too expensive for me to equip. So I'm going to have him just rock these 3.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to, on the side, equip these 2 that I want him to know, because they're going to make him, do what I need him to do.
Yeah. So I will say, the system and how the Pictos and the Luminas interact with each other, I wouldn't say is super well explained in the game.
Definitely not.
So... Pictoses are basically like materia. You slot them into your character. They give a lot of times it's mostly passive abilities, but a lot of times active ones too. I've one that ups my counter attack when I parry by 75% damage, stuff like that.
I just got one that I think increases like my base attack damage.
Yeah.
So like I have that on my main character because he's the one like. because he's usually the one that I do the gun. Gustav, thank you. I couldn't think of his name.
Gustav.
I usually use him as my gun.
Yeah.
So, he guns the people. He's my avowed guy, gun and sword. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
It's why I gotta go back. I'm going to make Gustav.
Ooh.
I'm going to make Gustav an avowed. Here we go.
Oh, please do.
I'm doing it.
That's awesome.
I can absolutely nail that mustache.
So yeah, the Pictos you equip. Each character has 3 slots to equip a Pictos. Equip a Pictos. Pictos and Lumina are weird and kind of annoying names.
He picked Equiptos. Hold on, I gotta write that down.
Equip a Pictos.
No.
But one thing you'll notice if you haven't already is when you equip one, you'll see the border around it is completely dark. And as you win battles with the character who has that equipped, you will see it start to light up around the outside of it. And once you win 4 battles with it, it'll be completely surrounded in a white border.
Mm-hmm.
And when that's done, then it can be learned as a Lumina. And the thing is, once it pops up and says, like, Lumina learnt for whatever, you don't have to put that Pictos on another character to repeat the process. You unlock the Lumina for every single person in your party.
Oh, that is for
It's for everyone.
Oh.
So
that's way better.
Yeah. So you don't have to constantly move the exact same one over to someone else. Once you unlock the Lumina for that specific Pictos, it's available to everyone in your party.
That's huge.
Yeah. That's something that is not explained super well that people need to know.
Or at all.
Yeah. So, like, you find and then you have a set amount of separate Lumina points that you can equip the Lumina that you learned from the Pictos.
Okay.
So, like, Dodger is one that you get super early on, where you get +1 AP for dodging an attack instead of, like, parrying it. And so you have, like, 15 Lumina points, then that costs 1, you can equip it. So as long as you have Lumina points, you can equip as many Luminas as you want. There's no limit to how many Luminas you can equip. It's just based off points.
Okay.
Which, a lot of times, when you're going around the world and different areas, you'll find items called Colors of Lumina, and those are additional ones of those points.
I saw that. I picked up a couple of those where it's like, use this to give your character 1 more Luminous.
Yeah, yeah. So that's that system, and that system is so in-depth. There's dozens and dozens of Pictos and Luminas, and you can just completely change how characters play with them and completely theory craft and have super different builds. So there's a ton of Luminas surrounding the gun in combat. So for people who haven't played it, turn-based combat, like I said, each character has abilities that cost action points each turn, and you unlock a ton. Each character has their own skill tree with a ton of different abilities. All the abilities have different costs. Each turn you gain AP or action points, and you also, similar to kind of Persona 5, you have a gun that you can pull out and take pop shots at enemies, but you free aim. So most enemies in the game have a weak spot you can hit that does a lot of damage. But you can have complete gun builds where you can put burning shots, marking shots, equip both of them. So when you fire, there's like a chance that you'll both burn and mark the target. There's super powerful Luminas that you can unlock later on, like basically a second chance, where if your character goes down, they'll automatically res once per battle. There's one that is kind of post-game where you can take 2 turns in a row if it's on. That one costs 40 Lumina to equip. So, like, the system is incredibly in-depth, and it makes it super replayable. And again, each character plays so differently. Like I said, Gustav is a good mix of offense and support. The second character you get is kind of your mage, and has a bunch of different elements. The third character has like stances. Like each character has their own specific gameplay mechanic that makes them play completely different than anyone else. And the only bummer is that you can only have 3 people in your party. Like, I want a 4th, but you can't. It's 3 at a time. Some small quality of life stuff from kind of JRPGs. dead characters still gain experience at the end of battle, which is nice. I don't think they gain as much, but they still gain experience. Um, the in the different zones you visit, there are basically expedition flags, which are basically bonfires. You can rest. The only consumable items in the game are health potions, AP potions, and revives. There are no other consumable items that you use during combat. And much like Dark Souls, you have a set amount that refresh when you rest at one of the expedition flags. And you can get more of those by finding collectibles or beating certain bosses throughout the game. So you start off with like one health potion, one AP potion, and one revive. But
I think I'm up to like 2 of each now.
Yeah, I think I'm at like 5, 5, and 7 where I'm at. So it really lets you focus more on the actual combat and not like item management, because I'll always stock up on items in RPGs and never use them.
Yeah.
So it kind of takes that out of the equation. And there are some surprises in the gameplay that I won't touch on, like one you just got to that you didn't know was in the game.
Yeah.
That kind of caught you by surprise, but it's the gameplay itself is my favorite turn-based combat ever, and it's some of my favorite combat ever in any game. I just find it to be so engaging and so fun when you hit the counterattacks and when you hit the parries. You hit for like 2 or 3 times damage of your normal attack, and the sound design is so good. It just makes you feel good.
I finally started hitting my parries.
Nice.
When I was playing last night.
Nice.
Something clicked this time, and I was like, wait a minute, I think I got this.
Yeah.
I think I got this.
Yeah, it's a tip for new players that took me like maybe 10 or 12 hours to really figure out. Sound cues are a lot of times a better indicator than visual cues, because they'll try to psych you out with the visual cues, but the sound cues right before they start their animation help out a lot. So that's gameplay. I love it, obviously. The story of the game is insane, man. So it sucks because I love this game so much that it sounds like I'm hyping it up. And I know hype can ruin games for people. And they'll go into it with all the hype and be like, this wasn't what I thought it would be. But I just have to tell my experience. Like, that's all I can do. So the first hour and a half of the game, for me personally, it's incredible how deeply attached they got me to 2 characters and their relationship within the first 15 minutes of the game. For me personally, the prologue of Clair Obscur rivals the prologue of The Last of Us Part 1 in terms of impact and the impact that it had on me. I teared up at the end of the prologue. And then there was another point after Act 1, kind of toward the beginning of Act 2, where like I had tears rolling down my face. Wow. The story itself it kind of frames it early on with that homage as like, this is a story about grief and how people process grief and how people handle it differently. And the mysteries in the story all surround that. Everything in the world surrounds that. Is grief is like the overarching theme of the game. And probably because I kind of mainlined the main story because I was enjoying it so much, I just said to myself, I'll do side content after, because I need to see how this continues. I think I finished the game at 25 hours, I think, the main story. But if you want to do all the side stuff, it's probably another 20, 30 hours.
I think they said, like the devs said, like full completion, if you want to do everything, is like 60-ish hours.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And from what I heard is that's actually like pretty spot on.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to play through the main campaign, like 25, 30 hours. But this game has some of my favorite and most well fleshed out characters I've ever played as in a game. It has some of the most ridiculous twists in a game, it almost commits a cardinal sin with one of the twists that is almost never good, but they make it work somehow, which blew my mind because no one likes that trope, but they made it good.
Okay.
It's basically at the end of every act, there's something crazy that happens. I would say if you play the game and you're kind of on the fence about it, if you're not into it at the end of Act 1, then I feel like you probably are good at that point. The voice acting is so incredibly just evocative. It has Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep, she's great.
She's great. It has somehow Charlie Cox, aka Daredevil, plays Gustav.
That's who plays Gustav?
Daredevil, yeah.
Really?
And the model looks like Robert Pattinson, but talks. Yeah. But that's Charlie Cox. And this is his first voice acting performance, and he's incredible.
He's real good. Yeah, no, Gustav is very well voiced.
He's so good. And then Andy Serkis is also in the game.
Of course he is.
And plays plays the frickin' the guy on the beach when you land.
Oh, okay.
Andy Serkis plays the old guy on the beach when you land.
I haven't heard him talk yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. He talks more later.
That whole sequence was really the thing that finally grabbed me.
The beach sequence. After like the hype up speech from Gustav's sister as everyone's going on the expedition, they just land and it's like, nope.
Yeah, the prologue didn't really hit me with anything, but then once I landed on that beach, I was like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Now you're doing something that I can get behind.
Yeah. Yeah. So
suddenly I'm in.
Yeah. The performances are great. It uses Unreal Engine 5. So visually, it's really stunning. There are some times where some of the character faces go a little kind of uncanny valley for me, but it happens so infrequently that I don't think it really detracts anything. But it's one of my favorite stories of all time in a game. And just the package from top to bottom, from the incredibly deep combat that is really as difficult as you want it to be. There are multiple difficulty settings that kind of help out with parrying windows and timing and that sort of a thing if it's too tough. Generally, dodging is the safer option because the window to dodge is larger than the window is to parry. But anytime you dodge and it says perfect dodge, that's the exact same timing as a parry. It's equivalent. If it just says regular dodge, then it's just a dodge. But from the combat to the narrative to the characters, the character performances, soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks of this century. Just the different genres it goes into, from just the soft vocal tracks when you start off in Lumiere to techno tracks for some boss fights. There's one boss fight where it's just like the sax man came in and it's just jazz sax out of nowhere. It's the only track I've found in the game that has saxophone in it, and it's that one fight. And I'm like, I just want to leave it on the fight to listen to the song because this is the only place it is. It's just, it's an incredible game that I'm so happy is getting the recognition that it's getting. It's sold. And also part of it hits a little hard for me, partly because in that intro, when you see some people get gommaged, there's a lot of kids who lose parents, and you see that actively happen.
Yeah.
And as someone with a young child, that hit me. And also the fact that I'm 33 right now kind of messed with my head a little bit.
Fair. I'd have already been gone.
Yeah, you would have been gone already, man. But right now, I think it has over 500 or 5,000 user reviews on Metacritic, and it's the highest scored game in the site's history at a 9.7 the last time I checked. The next closest game was 9.2 or 9.3, which I think was one of the Witcher 3 expansions. It's sold over 3 million units, which doesn't account for the fact, also, yeah, this is on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, try it. It's a game that respects your time. There's no bloat in it. And it's just, again, I'm so fresh off of it. I beat it, I think, day before yesterday. And now I'm going back and doing a ton of the side missions and collectible stuff. And I need more time to let it kind of digest. But in my heart, it's already a top 5 game of all time for me. It could be top 3. It really...
It's only $50.
And it's only $50.
If you wanted to buy it, it's only $50.
Yeah.
And just to follow up what you're saying, currently for critic score, it's at a 92.
Yeah. And
for out of almost 14,200 user reviews, 9.7.
Yeah. It is an incredibly meaningful game to me. It's incredibly special. It made me emotional. It made me reflect on what grief kind of can be, and in seeing different ways it's handled. Some ways more toxic than others. Some ways that are self-sabotaging. Especially as we get later in life with family members or parents or grandparents who are kind of getting closer to, passing away, and kind of seeing how grief can affect people and drive them to do things. I won't say it's the best game of all time, but it's up there. I can't think of many cons with the game. Some of the UI stuff with the Luminas and Pictos can get really unwieldy as you get a ton of them. Some of that stuff is not super well explained. But other than that, I really don't have any problems with the game. Every single party member you get, while maybe not everyone is treated equally in terms of development, everyone gets enough to where you know why they're on the expedition. You know enough about their past to really kind of feel like you know them. And there are some characters like Mael and Gustav especially, who I became incredibly attached to. And some of the characters in that game were just some of the most tragic characters I've ever come across in a game. So yeah, if any of that sounds interesting to you, like Chris said, it's $50. Again, it's also on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you can just play it for free, basically.
When you're trying Avowed, just download Expedition 33. And again, if you don't like either of those games, Doom is right there.
Yeah, just uninstall it if you don't like it, but give it a try. It's one of those things where, like, I didn't really know anything about the game up until kind of reviews started coming out.
Yeah.
Like, I had heard the title, but hadn't really looked into it.
I had heard a lot of hype around the game prior to release. Like, a lot of, like, preview talk was very high on it, but I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's just one of those games that kind of, like, it's not one of those games that happens every year, but it's one of those games that when it happens, like, it's just, that's the phenomenon game. Like, last year was Helldivers. Mm-hmm. That was the game that, like, it came out, everybody talked about it, and it blew up.
Yeah.
Expedition 33 is having that right now. Everyone's talking about it. It's blowing up. They sold 3.3 million copies.
33
days after launch. Like, it's just
crazy.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, I was trying to go back in my head through, like, my game of the years over the past few years to see where it would rank, and I can't think of anything that would surpass it.
Oh, you know what we should do?
What?
After like, not rushing you through this,
we can do this live.
We should we should talk about, like, what our game of the year would have been last year.
Oh yeah, I didn't play anything, so probably nothing. It was one of the reasons why podcast didn't happen a lot.
Fair.
But, like, and again, recency bias is a real thing, and I understand that. But for me right now, like going back, like last year, I didn't play much. 2023, this is our podcast, and we bring up lists a lot.
We are list people.
And so I'm going to bring up Open Critic, and I'm going to look at the top-rated games from last year to even remind myself what came out.
I can tell you some.
Astrobot was fantastic. I would put Expedition 33 over it. And then Metaphor, ReFantazio, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. These are ones I've put varying amounts of time into. So take that with a grain of salt. Since I haven't seen all of these to completion, but I would put Expedition 33 over all of these. 2023 was Baldur's Gate 3, Tears of the Kingdom, the Resident Evil 4.
Tears of the Kingdom was 2023?
Yeah, it was. It came out May 11th, 2023. Yeah, it's crazy. For me personally, I would put it above Baldur's Gate 3. That type of gameplay just doesn't always work for me. I'm trying. My mind immediately went to 2017 as like the last like crazy year.
I mean, I remember our top 3 that year was stacked. We had what was it? It was Zelda. It was Persona 5, and it was Horizon
and Mario Odyssey
and Nier
and Nier. Yeah, and the craziest thing, I would put Expedition 33 above all of those. Like, Breath of the Wild was so good, and my first Zelda game I ever got really into, but narrative wasn't really there, and eventually, like, the shrines got boring.
Yeah.
Persona 5, I adore. It's too long. And especially, like, back then it was fine.
Yeah.
But if I've replayed all these games right now, I don't have time for an 80-hour RPG.
Unless it's Oblivion.
Yeah, it's just... This game has become, like, a core part of, like, my gaming history now. And it's... I'll never forget so many different scenes in this game. And the feeling I had overcoming bosses that I was struggling with, just because, like, sure, you can grind in the game, but I never did. I always just immediately came back in, unless I was, like, obviously underleveled. Like, right after the first area, when it kind of opens up a bit, there's a cave off to your left, and it says danger, and you go in, and you get bodied.
Okay. So I thought danger meant that. And yes. I was like, I don't think it would have said danger.
Yeah.
Because I saw you go into another cave that didn't say danger. Yeah. I was like, okay, so that was warning me.
Yes, it was warning you.
Okay, so I'm not going near that then.
So, but, I mean, you can parry every attack and win. It will take a ton of time, but you'll gain 25 levels at the beginning of the game. So, I
mean... No.
and I think honestly, I think that thing only has 2 attacks. So once you learn it,
all right.
but yeah, they sold out of the collector's edition early on, and
I think they just brought it back recently.
They did, and I bought it.
Yeah. Okay.
Before I got laid off. Yep. So at least that purchase is through already. But yeah, it's a game that I feel like I could actually recommend to almost anyone, because the biggest hurdle would be the combat because of the parrying and the dodge windows. But like, my wife has played through Paper Mario games with similar mechanics. She would be enthralled with the story immediately from the characters. I feel like I can recommend it for people who aren't a fan of turn-based RPGs because it does have the skill element to it. I feel like it checks a lot of boxes. It respects your time. It's not going to take you forever to beat. There's enough side content and meaningful side content. And they introduce mechanics and systems so far in as well that continue to build.
Like that's so important to me, like respecting my time. Because like when I played Rebirth last year, that was the thing that I felt like it failed at the most. Is that game had no respect for my time.
Yeah.
And like hearing that this game, because like that Rebirth was the game that was like, not every game needs to be 100 hours. We need to stop. This is crazy. Like, I'm not going to play games I'm not going to keep playing these games that are all going to take 100 hours.
Yeah.
To see, not just see everything, but just to see the majority of it. To see everything meaningful of it. I shouldn't have to play a game for 100 hours. Not like a single player game for 100 hours to see all of the meaningful content. And like that was what I liked about like Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
100%ed that game in 25 hours. Perfect length, felt like just enough. And like when I finished that, I was like, this was great.
Yeah.
This was a game that respected my time. It wasn't bloated. Did everything pay off at the end? No, but I don't regret spending my time. If I ever went back, I know one quest line I would not do at all.
Yeah.
Because I know I don't have to now.
Yeah.
But like, but like that's the thing for me is like, I don't want to spend all this time doing all these things and not get the payoff or just have it like not be worth the effort.
Yeah. Yeah. So I genuinely do hope you see the game to its conclusion.
So far, so good.
Because again, the twists in the game are bonkers, and Sandfall Interactive has already said that they're gonna make another game. But I think I don't remember, grain of salt. I don't remember my source. I think it was an interview with the director who said that the Claire Obscure like prefix is kind of for like games taking place in like that shared universe. So like,
I think I've heard that too.
Yeah. So like you don't find out every single answer by the end of the game, and it leaves enough open to where more stuff could take place in that universe that could be really interesting that they just barely touch on. So, yes, that's my spiel. That's my call that everyone should at least give Claire Obscure Expedition 33 a chance. It's an incredibly special game, and if anything for me could beat it for my game of the year, I would genuinely be shocked. As someone who loves turn-based RPGs, it's close to perfect. Really, again, the only downsides are some of the UI, and some optional platforming things are pretty booty. But yeah, some of the best characters, best story, incredibly imaginative art design, incredible soundtrack. Like, it ticks every single box. So, that's my spiel.
We're going to have to keep this going because it sounds like we're going to have to talk about this game towards the end of the year.
Yeah, it's already done. For me.
Yeah. No, fair. I mean, hey, listen, like, right now, I am impressed that Oblivion kind of feels like that game for me.
Yeah.
No, but I am ready for something 2025. And it's not even to say anything negative about the games I've played so far in 2025. It's just, that is comfort food.
Sure.
Yeah. And, like, of the highest caliber. And that is, like, you go to your favorite restaurant and they make your meal perfect.
Yeah.
Every time. But then you go and they somehow make it a little better. And you're just like, what the hell? New chef, he just knows the men. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Everything that was old is new again. It's just that's the refreshing part of it for me. But like 100%. I am ready for a 2025 game to sweep me off my feet. It sounds like this one might be the best contender right now.
Yeah. It's a lot of people have been saying so far this year it's really between this and Blueprints, which I have not played.
Yeah.
But Blueprints is
also on Game Pass.
Also on Game Pass. I should really just re-up my Game Pass. I canceled it, but actually I should not now. Actually,
PC Game Pass is cheaper.
Is it?
Yeah, it's only $12.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, if anything,
yeah,
now is the time.
Now is
because $12 you play all those games.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's better than buying games.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. But I think the last thing I'll say about the game is that not only just because I've been playing less, but I've become increasingly skeptical and despondent about the industry as a whole the past 5 years. There have been so many layoffs. There have been so many just like AAA games that kind of come out like a wet fart and kind of don't leave an impact. This game reiterated for me the joy of what video games can be and the joy of playing them personally. I had kind of lost the joy of playing video games over the past few years, both from just less time playing them, but also I didn't feel like I was missing out, which I'd felt in the past. But this game, just as a piece of art, really made me remember how much I love the medium. And really, it was part of the impetus as to why I wanted to do this podcast. Like, I haven't been this passionate about anything gaming since 2020 in The Last of Us Part 2, maybe? Like, that's maybe the closest time I could think of in recent memory that I've cared this much about a game. And
that kind of checks out.
Arguably, I think I care about this more than Last of Us Part 2. So, yeah, it's not just a good game. It's kind of helped me refine part of myself that I thought was maybe gone. So yeah, games.
Expedition 33. It will save your love of gaming.
Yep.
Confirmed.
You can put it on the Game of the Year edition case.
Yes. It saved my love for games.
HalfGen.com.
Ross Orlando, HalfGen.com.
Yep.
So, Ross, if you'll indulge me.
Sure.
I want to talk about, rather than talk about the past, let's look to the future.
Okay. Yeah.
Talking about, games that are coming out this year.
Yes.
I have the list of games coming out in 2025, starting in June.
Okay.
I'm going to hit some of the big ones, and I want you to give me, and I'll do the same thing, a kind of a 1 through 5 scale.
Okay. Of excitement?
Interest in the game.
5 most interested?
5 is most interested. 1 is not interested at all.
Can I give 2 ratings?
Sure.
One of which is my excitement for it, and one which is the likelihood I'll actually end up playing it.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I like it.
Because
so 2 numbers.
There's going to be a lot that I really want to play that I just won't be able to.
All right. Nintendo Switch 2. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip a bunch of these. Switch 2 versions of games.
One of my biggest gaming regrets of the year so far is not having the time to put into Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. But that's 80 to 100 hours I don't have. So that game is great, though.
Dune Awakening.
1 to both.
Okay.
I love Dune. I have no interest in that survival game.
I actually kind of want to play it.
Like, it looks cool, but I know I won't like it.
I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna gamble
because I love the Dune books.
Because I know Cypher's gonna get it, and so nice. I have somebody to play it with.
Good.
I think I'm gonna gamble on that because everything I've seen, it looks really interesting.
Yeah, I hope. I hope if it's really good, I'll give it a try because I like the IP. So,
Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
I still wish I've played through the first one because I feel like it's a game I would actually like.
I liked what I played of it, because and it was just a game that I put down and never went back to.
Like. It seemed from what everyone described it as, outside of the combat, it seemed just super chill, and I like the idea of multiple people going through the same world and like putting up ladders or roads to help other people traverse it. Like, it was a really cool kind of community idea. I just haven't gotten around to it.
The thing with Death Stranding is I liked everything about Death Stranding until I interacted with the weird parts of Death Stranding. So, like, the creepy ghost things.
Yeah.
The moment I got involved with, like, the ink and stuff,
yeah,
I was just like, eh.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, my ratings. So, excitement for it, probably a 4. Because the first game, again, really intrigues me.
Yeah.
But I haven't played it. Likelihood I'll play it, 1.5. Just because I want to play the first game first.
I'm probably right there with you, like, point for point.
Yeah.
I'm torn between maybe trying to, like, watch a video of, like, here's everything that happened in Death Stranding 1, and then playing 2. Because I feel like 2 is just going to be a better game. Yeah. And so, like, I feel like 2 is kind of like that known commodity now. everybody knows what this game is about, and so Kojima's gonna, one, pull out all the stops to make sure it's a better game, but two, also try and like challenge some of those preconceived notions.
Yeah, you'll play the intro as Sam Bridges, and then switch you over to Timothée Chalamet, and just like the snake are riding Timothée Chalamet, and everyone will be mad about it.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4.
Excitement 4.5. 3 and 4 I played the hell out of the original games.
4 is the first Tony Hawk game I ever owned, personally. But
yeah,
they're not doing 4 properly.
Oh, they're not?
So what they're doing is they've reformatted 4 to be in the traditional 2-minute format. So there's a free roam version that you can like go in for an hour and just play in that area.
Yeah.
But it is not the same game. It is basically Tony Hawk 3, but in Tony Hawk 4's setting.
Okay. That's a bit of a bummer.
It is a huge bummer because I probably would have bought that. The moment they announced this, I was like, I want to play 4 again. Because I remember going around, standing up to Tony Hawk, I'm going to teach you the 360 varial McTwist. And I'm just like, I want to learn how to do that, Tony Hawk. Please teach me how to do the 360 varial McTwist. Left, right, square, boom, bam!
Yeah.
Bam! Just cranking out 360 varial McTwists.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Tony Hawk game I put the most... My first Tony Hawk game was the first one that I played on N64 with the blue cartridge.
Oh, you played it on N64?
Yeah.
I played it on PlayStation.
Yeah. I probably put the most time into 3, I think. So, with that being the main focus of that package, seemingly... I still give it a 4 out of 5 on excitement, and in likelihood I'll play it maybe like a 2.5.
Yeah, I'm probably like a 3 for excitement, and maybe like a 1.5 to actually play it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to? I'm gonna say switch games just in case. Just in case you happen to find yourself in a situation where, you know what, Switch 2 into my lap.
If I end up with this, I didn't get one pre-ordered.
I'm signed up for the thing, so if I get it, I can always offer it to you.
Yeah, I need a job.
I know. Donkey Kong Bonanza.
1-1.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
It's not for me.
Killing Floor 3.
I've still to this day never played 2.
2 loses a lot of the charm of the first game. A lot of people don't like the weapon feel compared to the first game.
Okay.
But the classes are more fleshed out.
Okay.
So, like, 2 is a better overall game.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, nothing is Killing Floor 1. Everything I saw about Killing Floor 3, they had to delay it because everybody said this feels like a mobile game.
Woof. That's pretty damning criticism.
Yeah. They said that it makes Killing Floor 2's weapons feel good.
Killing Floor 2, could I still get a ton of points by just sitting in the corner and welling a door?
Yes.
Awesome.
I mean, I think so.
I should have played that. Probably. So for the scores, excitement 2.5. Likely I'll play it 1.
I'm hoping that they are addressing the issues. I'm gonna say a 3, and probably a 3.
Okay.
If my other buddies get it,
yeah, it's more.
It's one of those games. If my friends get it, I'm gonna get it. If Zane gets it, I'm probably gonna get it and play with him.
Yeah, for sure.
Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV.
Uno.
Yes.
Oh, uno.
There's almost no other game you could say that I would be less interested in than Mario Party.
Allie will probably want it.
All right, Ross. I don't know how you're going to feel about this game.
Okay.
Mafia: The Old Country.
Ooh, that's a 4.5 and a 4. Dude.
That's a 5 and a 5. You're going to play Mafia: The Old Country. Oh, my God. You're going to find a way to play Mafia.
So for people who are new, very quick history. I never played the Mafia games. A couple years ago, I played through both definitive editions. Mafia 1 definitive edition is probably my top 20 games of all time. I liked it a lot more than 2, which I know is not the common opinion.
I love 2.
But The Old Country, it looks incredible. My family's Italian. It looks like the scenes in The Godfather Part 2 where Michael went back to Italy. I want it injected into my veins. I'm very excited for the old country.
I'm going to put a 3 and a 3 for that.
Yeah.
Because my relationship with Mafia, I have one definitive, but I haven't actually played it. I loved 2 the first time I played it.
Yeah.
And when I played the definitive edition, as the game got later, I really kind of fell off of it.
Yeah.
And then Mafia 3...
Yeah, that had a ton of problems.
Was just not what I wanted or needed it to be.
You should try to play the first definitive.
I should.
It's only like 10 hours.
It should.
What's next?
Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater, and full disclosure,
yep,
same developer as Oblivion Remastered.
Conflicted. I'm conflicted because of the Kojima-ness of it, and the lack of Kojima, and just Konami as a whole. Ignoring all the auxiliary factors.
Let's just take this in isolation.
Isolation in a vacuum.
For this particular one, let's take this in isolation.
This might have one of my biggest spreads between the two scores. I would say excitement, like a 4.5. Likelihood I'll play it, probably like a 2.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I haven't played Snake Eater to this day, and I don't think I'm going to change that.
I didn't think, when I went on the full series playthrough, the full main series playthrough, I didn't think I would like Snake Eater, and it ended up being my favorite of the 5 games.
The only Metal Gear Solid games that I have fully finished...
1 and 4.
Yes. Both the games where you play entirely as Solid Snake.
Yeah. 2 called a bunch of stuff in terms of like internet culture and everything way ahead of time. And 3 was just really... The boss is one of the coolest characters in gaming. Next game.
I was looking for a game that I was surprised I didn't see.
Night Rain just came out. While Chris is looking through, that would have been a like 4 for excitement for me, and like a 2 I'll actually play it just because I find with just timing with a toddler, trying to fit multiplayer games in to be pretty tough. But you find what you're looking for?
Yeah, unless it's coming out later than I expected. I thought it was supposed to be coming out this summer. Mind's Eye, from the former Rockstar devs.
Oh, I don't know anything about that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll skip that one for now. Bunch of former Rockstar devs are making like a new game, and they have like a universe that's set in. Oh. That like we're gonna make a bunch of games in this universe.
The only AAA games that will ever survive are Rockstar games and Nintendo games. What month are we in now?
We are in September. Hold on, let me double check August. Sorry. No, Mafia was August. Okay. September. So in September, I don't remember why I know Hell Is Us, but I can't think of what game that is.
No clue.
But I know I've heard of it.
Okay.
Damn it, Ex Machina, Titanic Scion.
Man, I played the demo for the original on Switch when it ran like booty butt cheeks, and I ended up buying the game on Switch, and I never played it. So it's at my house, but I've never played it.
I played it on Switch, liked it. Cypher and I ended up picking it up on PC. We played the whole thing.
Was it good?
It was.
Oh, nice.
It's not like Demon Ex Machina. It is like Freedom Wars. If Freedom Wars was what I wanted it to be, okay, it would be Demon Ex Machina. Which is to say, it is still a flawed game, but it is really good at what it's doing.
Oh, fair enough. Hey, as long as you're good
Demon Ex Machina is like an 8 out of 10 game.
Oh, okay.
Of the highest regard.
Nice.
I wouldn't give it an 8.5, but I would look at it as a 10, and it might make like my top 5 of the year. But like, it is a really solid, like, AA game kind of thing.
Honestly, better than I thought.
So, and I am very much looking forward to that sequel. Yeah. So that's a 5 and a 5.
Nice.
For me, I'm gonna play that.
For me, it's a 4 and a 1.
Fair.
Yeah.
Now, this isn't that game, and I don't know if it's listed on here.
For all of our audio listeners, there's some intense scrolling happening.
I'm just looking. Okay, I'm gonna go through that. They mentioned this Terminator 2D like remake game, No Fate.
Yeah.
There is a Terminator survival game that's supposed to come out this year.
Terminator survival game.
there's like a Terminator that is hunting you in the game.
Oh,
and it sounds really cool.
Huh.
And like I can't remember it. I think it's probably in the no date section. But that's like high on my list. That's probably like a 4 and a 2 for me.
Is it like one of those games where it's like 4 people playing as like normal people? And
no, it's like a survival game. Like you're out in the world like building bases and scavenging, but there's like a Terminator.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty cool. Actually.
Yeah, like that alone like kind of sells me on that as like I appreciate Terminator from a distance.
Yeah.
But that like
that's a 3.5 and a 1 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to September.
Yep.
Here's one that I know your opinion has wildly changed on.
Ooh.
Borderlands 4.
Ah, yes. So up until 5 hours ago, this would have been a 1 and a 1. I have played through Borderlands 1, loved Borderlands 1 for all of its quirks and all of the new things it kind of introduced at the time in terms of like the looter shooter type of situation. Loved Borderlands 2. Thought the jumps they made in story were super fun. Played the pre-sequel. Someone thought that was a good idea. And then Tales from the Borderlands.
2K thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, Tales from the Borderlands, which is not a traditional Borderlands game, it's a Telltale game, was fantastic. Never played Borderlands 3. Thought I was pretty much done with the franchise. But then earlier today, Chris showed me a gameplay like demo, basically, of Borderlands 4, and it looks really good. Like the big game changer for me is being able to customize your gun with parts from different manufacturers. So you could have like a Jacobs stock and like a Malawan magazine.
That and like the affinity stuff too.
Yeah.
Of like you really like the Jacobs stuff, so like you can just make it so like I am doubling down.
Yeah.
I want this gun to have a Jacobs thing so it does this, but also now that it has that, I can activate my trap card and all of a sudden I'm doing more.
Yeah. It looks awesome. They added a ton of mobility options that look really smooth.
It looks like the game Borderlands 3 should have been.
Yes. Yeah, I never ended up playing it.
Like Borderlands 3 is a better feeling. Borderlands 3 is to date the best feeling Borderlands game from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah.
But like that's all it has going for it.
Yeah. So for me, for Borderlands 4, excitement level now, probably 4.5. Likelihood I'll play it, probably a 4.
That's another one for me. That's a 5 and a 5.
Yeah, yeah. And that's September, right?
Yes.
Okay. Isn't that September 12th?
Yes, that's what they said in the trailer. Yeah.
Tony has to go and ruin it with his wedding. That's his wedding day.
Son of a.
His rehearsal dinner's on 9/11.
Son of a man.
His rehearsal dinner is on 9/11.
I guess I'll just have to wait to play Borderlands 4.
Thanks, Tony.
My friend is getting married that day.
Ruining
and we're in
again.
the wedding.
Bummer.
Tony would probably be like, "You don't have to go." I'm like, "Shut up." I it's not listed on here either, but just out of curiosity, knowing that you haven't caught up anyway,
sure.
Just and throw it out there, because of your affinity for the 9, the Edge of Fate, Destiny 2, which is coming out July 15th.
Destiny at this point is a 1 and a 1 for
That's
me.
okay.
Consistently, it's you send me stuff about it, I'm like, sure, sounds cool.
I just know like you saw the 9, and you were like, "Wait, that's the 9." And
like that was
okay,
interesting.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, no, I'm not.
I'll tell you all about it.
Please do.
I
I know you will. I know you'll tell the people.
We got this show, you know. God, they're making more Dark Pictures games. What the hell? Not talking. Okay, Ghost of Yotei. We're in October now.
Oh,
Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah. Man, Ghost of Tsushima was so good. I platinumed that game. I love that game. Ghost of Yotei. I think it's like a 4 excitement level because I mean that they got it so right the first time. Just building off of it, hopefully it's good, and then likelihood I'll play it probably a 3.
Okay.
It's something that I'm looking forward to for sure, but
okay.
I'm not.
I still haven't played Tsushima.
Man, I wish you would have, and we would have gotten like 2 other people to play that co-op mode because the co-op mode.
I'm sure
so fun.
I could still get people. Like we'd get PC.
Yeah.
because it has crossplay.
Yeah.
So at this point I would probably play it on PC.
Yeah, I mean, that game in ultra wide on your setup would look incredible.
You know, you can find out.
Yeah.
Pokemon Legends ZA.
It's probably like a 4.5 and a 4. Being real, probably
4.5 and a 4.
I never finished Legends Arceus, but I really did like the time that I put into that game. Technically, it was just such a bummer that it really, like from a technical standpoint, really bummed me out.
You have to have a Switch 2 by then.
I know, that's the caveat. If I have a Switch 2, it's a 5 and a 5.
Yeah,
but
as someone who will own a Switch 2,
yeah. But yeah, it's just like, I'm glad the first one did well because it's a nice break from the traditional series.
So apparently nothing is scheduled beyond October right now.
Yeah, it makes sense.
May 2026, Grand Theft Auto 6.
A 2 and a 2. I don't have a great history with liking Rockstar games.
I won't buy that game until it's on PC, and even then, I might not, just because they're not releasing it. And like, I know there's people who are like, you're not entitled. It's, they got to do the work on the console. It's better if they release it on less platform. PC is blah, blah, blah. No. You know what? Monster Hunter Wilds came out on all 3 platforms day 1, and guess where it sold best? Say it with me, Ross.
Nintendo Switch.
The PC.
Nailed it. First try.
Like, I'm just tired of Rockstar, like, treating the PC as, like, a tertiary platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's absurd.
Well,
we just got Red Dead Redemption.
If anyone's in the position to be able to do that, it's them.
I'm not buying the game.
Yeah.
I'm going through the undated games. These are alphabetical. I know you're excited for Arc 2, starring Vin Diesel.
0-0. Keep going.
Okay.
You're waiting for announcements from Summer Games Fest at this point.
Are we watching that on Friday?
Is that?
I'll
Friday?
be out of work. It's Friday at 5. I'll be out of work.
What day? What's the date for it? When? Which Friday?
6th.
June 6th?
Yeah.
I will probably still be unemployed by then, so yeah, sure.
Let's do that.
You'll need to remind me because there's no way I'll remember.
But I only work until 3 that day.
When does the show start?
5.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Hopefully the main presentation. Is the main presentation start at 5, or just all of the stuff start at 5? I
think main presentation starts at 5.
I'll have to see if Allie will do a little bit more of the nightly baby duty. We'll see.
Okay, I found something. So, Dying Light: The Beast. So this is Dying Light based on like Dying Light 2 engine and stuff, but once again starring Crane, the original game's protagonist.
2 and 1. I never played Dying Light 2. I
haven't either.
I liked Dying Light 1 a lot, but I only liked it in co-op. I don't think I would have liked the game very much at all if I didn't play it with someone else.
Fair. I still really like Dying Light.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much as you. I thought
we played that together, right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that game.
Yeah. No, it was fun to play together.
Let's see here. Oh, they are making a Front Mission 3 remake. Neat. Okay. The new Gears. The Gears of War Super Duper D remaster. I forget what it's called.
Is it
they're redoing Gears of War 1 again.
Just 1 again?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
No?
Oh, you didn't know about this.
No,
People Can Fly are doing like they're basically building it off of that awful definitive edition that they did like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
They're doing it again?
They're making a better one of those.
Isn't People Who Fly, isn't that the Bulletstorm developer?
Yes.
And it's just the first game.
It's just Gears 1 because E-Day is cut. This is the next new game.
Is this the first one that's coming to PlayStation?
Yes.
Out of morbid curiosity, it's like a 3 and a 1 probably.
I'll probably end up playing it with someone on Game Pass.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I thought it was going to be a remastered collection of the original trilogy.
It should have been.
That's what I thought it was.
It should have been.
Yep. Okay.
unfortunately.
Nah, I'm good.
Let's see. This is really poorly ordered.
Nice.
That's a 2026 game. Like, why are we doing this? This IGN really letting me down. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
It's probably like a 4.5 excitement and like a 2.5 that I'll play it because I still want to get through the original trilogy. And I have Metroid Prime Remastered. I just haven't beaten it. And then 2 and 3 are still not on modern platforms. So
do you know that Retro has a lot of Halo 4 devs?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, apparently a bunch of former 343.
Interesting, huh?
Like a lot of people joke, they said that's why she got like the little hexes on her visor now.
That's funny.
It does kind of explain like the vibe of Samus. Mm-hmm. Like I really love that scene when what's his face like breaks through the wall, and just kind of how like she does the dodge and then kind of sets herself. Yeah. It feels like kind of that Master Chief movement that they introduced in 4, like his more like cinematic movement.
Well, that was a lot of like Metroid Dread, where like
Dread, but specifically in the cutscene, and I feel like they might have had some oversight in that as well. Yeah.
Like that one cutscene with...
Oh, there's Mind's Eye, Summer 2025. Okay. That's the game I was trying to find before.
But like the one boss, what's the name of the boss? The big guy who shoots like the stuff out of his body.
Oh my god, any other moment I would know who this is. Now you put me on the spot and I don't remember.
But I think that was the boss fight where like he shoots a blast out of his mouth in the cutscene and Samus just dodges it by going like that. Yeah. And I'm like, that's the cool bounty hunter that I've always thought. I
still love like that first boss when she's like walking around. She's just standing there staring at it, just charging the cannon. She walks like behind it and she's just holding.
Oh, that game is so good.
Like the vibe of Samus. Again, you know, as much as I don't think Halo 4 has aged well. Yeah. I think Halo 4 is one of the worst aging Halo games they've ever made, ironically. Yeah. Which is, it's being one of the newer Halo games.
It's unfortunate.
You got all these games from a 2000 before there was a 2010 that all feel really great to play to this day. And then you've got Halo 4 from 2012 that just feels older than them somehow. And just like does not feel good to play. But they did a lot of good work with the Master Chief as a character and humanizing him.
That was the big thing.
And I think that's a lot of the success that they're having with Samus in Dread and hopefully into Prime 4. That's a 5 and a 5. I am buying a Switch 2 to play Metroid Dread. Did you see that regular mice work on the Switch 2?
No, I thought you just had to use the bad Joy-Con.
So the one of the Nobunaga's ambition thing, they plugged in a regular mouse and they showed it working.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did like a dev stream. And they showed it working. I'm just like, yo, I'm going to MK Metroid Prime 4!
You're going to have to check that exact point during the audio when you review it, because that peaked into red.
Hell yeah! It should be fine. It's auto-adjusting.
That's fair.
It should be okay. Excuse me. But yeah, Prime 4, that's a 5 and a 5 for me.
Yep.
Mind's Eye, I'm interested in that. I'll probably check that out when it comes out. Outer Worlds 2 is allegedly supposed to be coming out this year.
It's 2 and 1. I put maybe like 5 to 10 hours in the first Outer Worlds, and I think I will at this point forever be burned out on that type of Bethesda-esque open world RPG. I just get bored of it really fast. Like Oblivion has a bit of a like grace period to it because that was like the first of those games I played, and it's a lot of nostalgia. But that style of game, I can't like commit to seeing all the way through. So like I've recognized that the first game was good and it was fun and like it was funny, but I'm not gonna play Outer Worlds 2.
That's probably a 4 and a 3 for me.
Yeah. Did you play the first one a lot?
I played all the way to Monarch, that really big area that everybody said, like, this is where everybody falls off.
Gotcha.
That's where I fell off.
Fair enough.
I did really like the game, and I had intended to go back and finish it, and then just other stuff got in the way.
Sure.
But
mostly Destiny.
I did like the Outer Worlds, and I was very excited when they announced the sequel, because I'm hoping, Obsidian is a much better developer these days, and I think the Outer Worlds, that first one, was like the first like proof of that. where they're like, we can make these big AAA style games. They don't have to be as big as all these other AAA games, but we can make a really good high caliber one of these.
Right.
Like I played more Outer Worlds than I've played Starfield.
Yeah.
And, I think Outer Worlds is probably still a better game than that in a lot of ways.
Probably.
And I think that says something. So, take that as you will. Replaced sounds like a game I should know. Why can't I think of what Replaced is?
Replaced?
Yeah.
Sounds like they should have replaced that with a different game on the list.
Oh!
My Great Humor.
That's that crazy, vibey 2D side-scroller game that had, the neon lights. They showed it at, the Game Awards a couple years ago, I think.
Oh. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you'd know it. Yeah.
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That did look kind of cool.
They just delayed it to 2020.
Okay, cool. Not a 2020.
What?
Not a 2025.
It says on here 2025 on the IGN list, but then there's a thing right here that says in February of this year they delayed it to 2026.
Obviously, IGN's list is not updated regularly.
Yeah, I guess. I really want to play that Sorrows game. I know that's a 2026 game. That's the new Housemarque.
Oh, okay.
I really want to play that with what's his face? I can never remember the actor's name. He's in Bolt Gun.
Bolt Gun.
He's the main character.
No, not Ben Starr. That's gonna bother me now.
You know who I'm talking about.
Go to the next game. Next game.
Here we go. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. Yeah. TBA.
That's not good.
Yeah, no.
Rahul Kohli.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, do you remember State of Decay 3?
I try not to.
That's a game that's now Terminator Survivors. That's the game.
There it is.
And that's one that I want.
Apt title.
Yes. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
What a just
supposed to still be coming out this year.
Weird thing that's happening.
There's a Bolt Gun 2?
Yeah, they just announced it.
Oh shit.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I just see it with 2026. So clearly they do update this.
Oh yeah, they just
because Bolt Gun 2 is right there.
That's fair. Also, for anyone
and then 40K Dark Heresy.
Oh yeah, that's the new...
Oh yeah, and I heard about Dawn of War Definitive Edition.
Yeah, Dark Heresy is from the same team that put out Rogue Trader.
Yeah, I heard about that too. How did I not hear about Bolt Gun?
It's going to be a similar type of CRPG, just set during the Heresy era, I think. Also, for those listeners, before the end of May, if you do want to play Bolt Gun, it is one of the PlayStation Plus free games of the month.
Bolt Gun is a very good boomer shooter.
Yeah, very.
And there's a button just to scream about the Emperor.
Yeah, which is great.
Every 40K game should have a For the Emperor button. And I just love when he's like, I will avenge Captain Titus. And I'm like, yes, you will.
And the accomplishments that character has in that game canonically make him the second strongest person in the Warhammer 40K universe, which is hilarious.
I think those are the big...
Yeah.
The big that we know of right now, 2025 games.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some cool announcements from Summer Games Fest. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, there's not a ton I'm super excited for that I know of for the rest of the year, but hey, at least I like playing games again. Thanks, Expedition 33. Appreciate it.
Sandfall, hit us up.
Yeah, please do.
Hit us up with that collab.
Sponsored podcast, I'll do it.
I'm not even sponsors. Just get on, talk to this man.
Yeah. Just thank you for putting that game together. It's incredible.
Oh man. I think, I mean it when I'm the one saying it, because I'm usually the let's do one more thing guy. I think that's a show.
Yeah, we have to work our way back into it.
Yeah.
And how long was this?
I have no clue.
Okay, cool.
It's
pretty long.
I couldn't tell you.
Fair enough.
I'm happy with it though.
Yeah.
I will edit this at some point, probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it today.
That's fair.
And we didn't do it live, so it's not like we got to compete with a VOD or anything.
That's true.
I'll probably have it up by Friday.
Yeah, that's fair. Isn't that tomorrow?
Oh my God, today's Thursday. I'll probably have it up by Saturday.
Yeah, we're recording this on Thursday, May 29th.
Luckily, not too much to have to edit, so I probably will get it up on Friday.
Well, it was fun to come back.
This was fun.
Not guaranteeing that this will be weekly or anything like that, but minimum monthly, ideally more often. A lot of
we can always do bi-weekly.
We can also do bi-weekly. I just need to... Depends on how many games I play, because that was the biggest issue that led to us stopping. It's because I just had to stop playing as many games.
It was just me talking at you about a bunch of games.
It was mostly just Destiny talk, Destiny podcast,
and it was a really bad time for Destiny. That wasn't even like me having fun with Destiny. Yeah. That was me kind of ranting about Destiny,
and it was me just sitting there like, yep, oh that sucks. Yeah,
that really sucks, man. Yeah,
Bungie, cool.
What are you gonna do?
But yeah,
first half of this year sucked for Destiny too after the final shape, but they fixed it. We got there in the end.
But yeah, the podcast, I definitely want to keep recording the podcast. I'm interested in writing some stuff again, so
there's still a website.
There, HalfGen.com.
HalfGen.com.
I did just for other reasons, I did just repost one of my favorite articles I've written, which was my kind of big thank you editorial to Supergiant Games. I just posted that because when we let the site lapse, all of the old articles were gone. Like, I still have them on Drive and stuff.
But like the formatted setup pages for them are gone because that version of the site doesn't exist. I technically, I think, still have a backup of it, but that's like a whole different host and everything.
Yeah, it's
so I need to see when this host is gonna renew because we bought it for like 4 years.
Yeah,
and we did that in like 2022.
I think so.
So we got at least like through the rest of this year at least. That's a doorbell.
Live doorbell.
Excuse me, Ross. Wrap this up.
So, thank you all for joining us. Let me bring you close here. Let me get a little intimate. Thank you all for joining us. Really appreciate your time. We have a previous tenant looking for mail, so that's probably not going to happen. But thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to be back. Please, again, if you haven't, try Expedition 33, especially if you have Game Pass. But I think that's going to wrap it up for us. We will talk again very soon. So thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back after a very long hiatus. But hopefully there will be some more consistent content moving forward. So thank you so much, and we will talk to you all very soon. Thank you. Here we go. Let's have Ross not mess up the recording.
You got so close, and it's set up to not be close.
Good. That isn't working. I have to use the mouse. Hey.